Hello and welcome to part 3.1. And in this short video, I just want to give you a couple of things to consider. So first is the scope of your site. And what I mean by that is, will you build a one product site, so probably what's called a mini site, or will you build a bigger site dedicated to a certain category or type of product? Personally, I lean more towards the one product site category, or the one having like one site dedicated exclusively to one product. But you can succeed with either one. Um, I don't want people to feel that just because I might personally use only one product sites that you can't. You build a bigger site, sometimes known as an authority site, that covers many products. As I said, it can be success with either. Um, I've had good success building one product sites, and as you can see, that's what the Scalp Med Reviews site, that's what it is. Essentially, it's a one product site, although with the Scalp Med product itself, there are about two different formulations. Basically, there's a formulation for men and a formulation for women. But other than that, it's a one product site, or yeah, it's a one my site is a one product site, even though there's a couple of different variations of that product. Now, there are advantages to building bigger category oriented multi product sites. Um, and one of the big advantages to that is that over time your site gets more and more authority in the search engines. Now, if you're new to this, I'd encourage you to build one product mini sites. It's what I've had success with. One product mini sites are more focused. And from ranking perspective, I feel like there's much less risk involved. Although conversely, with the multi-product sites, over time, your rankings can get a little bit more steady. But I mean, the one product mini sites are also very good, and that's what I've had success with. So basically, a mini site takes much less time to create than a bigger authority site. And what I mean by that is, with an authority site, you have to have you have to think, basically in terms of months to years. Whereas with a mini site, you can get one set up for a new person, if you follow through this, you can probably get one set up in, say, a couple of weeks if you're brand new to this. Some people can do it in days. I mean, you can do it in days. Some people can even do it in hours. I'm going to say if you're brand new, you can do it in like maybe a couple weeks, maybe a week if you get some outsourcing help. But in any case, a mini site usually takes much less time to create than an authority site. Now, having said that, a mini site will also have to be updated periodically, especially if it's doing well for you. But long story short, it's quicker to create a mini site. Um, Now, you can succeed solely on mini sites. Like me personally, I've never really succeeded with a multi-product site. I felt that, and there's people who do it and succeed with it, but um, after a while, just for me, it just kind of lost focus, and personally, I just found it much better and more rewarding to create just mini sites, one site dedicated exclusively to one product. Now, another thing, probably maybe the most important thing, or definitely something important to consider. And before I say this, I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not, really qualified to interpret the law. But though it's good to have your product name and the domain name, like me, the domain name of my site is scalpmedreviews.org. So it has the name of the product, Scalp Med, in it. And also, it's good to have it more towards the beginning of the domain name than the end. But regardless, though it's good to have your product name and the domain name, be aware of using a brand name in your domain name, because some companies might not like that. They might. For the most part, I've been more or less fortunate because I asked my affiliate manager if I can use the product name in my domain name? And usually the answer is yes. Um, the only thing is that some companies may not like that, and it was once a problem for me. Basically, what happened in April of last year, I asked if it was okay to use um, the product's name in my domain name, and I got the answer yes. So I built out a site, and by October of last year, which would have been 2014, so let's say like 6 months later or so, my site was outranking the company's own site, and the company didn't like that and all this stuff. And unfortunately, what just to just to sort of shrug it off, I just ended up having to give my domain name to the company. So that sort of sucked. And the site itself, I had to move to another domain name. It's still there, it still ranks, but not as well as the original um, site did on the domain name that had the product name in it. So basically, what I'm trying to say is just beware of using a brand name in your domain name, because some companies may not like that. Okay, so before I end this video, I'm just gonna cut to a part where I show you a one product site, and then I'll show you a multi-product site, just so you get, I'm sure you probably already know what I mean, but just so that you get a crystal clear idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're back here at this is ScalpMed Reviews. It's you've seen this site before, and basically, like I said, it's if you recall from when I first showed it to you, it's basically dedicated to one product. It's basically dedicated to one product. Now, if you're curious, there's a women's formulation, Scalp Med for Women, so you can see it's a little bit red. And then there's one for men as well. So here's the men's version. But either way, you can see that they're fundamentally the same product. So it's a one product site, and most of the articles on here point toward that one particular product. Okay, hello. So this site, this isn't one of my own sites. This is the site of someone else. But you can see from the sidebar that it's a multi-product site. It's not. It's a testosterone. If you don't know what they are, testosterone boosters are just something that maybe men over 40 or guys who are into building muscle take. It's basically just the more testosterone you have hormonally, the more of a man you are, basically. I don't mean to put it that way, and I don't mean to be condescending, but that's basically what the idea behind this whole market is. Anyway, you can see that if you look in the sidebar, it's a multi-product site, and all these products have something to do with building your testosterone. So this site is dedicated to a category of products, which is testosterone boosters, whereas my site is basically for only one product. Now, I'm pretty sure this looks like it'll grow to be a multi-product site. It'll probably have good long-term longevity, like, because as content is added to it, it'll gain more search engine rankings. So either way, either one is fine. You can have one or maybe two or three multi-product sites, or like a range of multi or single product sites.